Ah, hey, cool. Your ears didn't explode. So that means my filters are working properly. There are only a couple of filters that you really need that will make it so that, you know, you don't make people's heads explode whenever you're like slightly loud. That means your mic is like peaking and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you a couple of very simple OBS filters to make your voice sound like normalized. So like you see my voice right now on OBS, it is only going up to the yellow, which is a fine spot. I'll also show you a little trick so that you don't ever have to adjust audio for the stream. Your voice will be louder than any desktop audio that you're using. Unless you have a different setup, which honestly, you don't really need one, but if you do, then this tutorial isn't for you. But anyway, so first off, to make people's heads not turn into jelly whenever you, when you're like slightly loud, you go to your filters, and the two things that you're gonna look for is a limiter and a compressor. The limiter is there so that you don't peak your microphone, or at least in OBS you don't peak your microphone. This you will have to adjust this yourself, but for the most part, what I do is I try to keep it around this level, so I'm not too quiet, but I'm not so loud that it, like people have to like turn down their audio whenever they're hearing me. So 10.70 is just where I keep it. You can choose anywhere in between here. It depends on how loud you want your stuff to be, but I would say this is a decent spot to start. And the compressor, and I know there's a lot of like options here, and it's like, oh, don't worry, it's fairly simple. Also, I'm pretty sure I just use the like default settings. Yeah, there is literally only one thing changed, and that's just the attack time. You can just turn on a compressor. Sorry, I actually don't know if that changed how I sounded. I didn't realize that. But yeah, you can just put on the basic ass compressor, and what that does is it kind of squishes all of your audio into like one volume, kind of, so you can kind of talk a lot quieter, and like you don't have to like project your voice as much, and you can whisper and people can still hear you. I'm actually gonna back away from my mic. You can still hear me kind of, and it's still at a decent decibel. Man, that's like magic, huh? But anyway, those are the two that you would need just so things are more consistent with your setup. The rest of this stuff is purely for myself, or like not for myself, but for like the quality of my microphone, but I'll get into those in a moment. So the thing I said earlier, where you can make your desktop audio always be quieter than you go to your filters for your desktop audio, and then I just have a limiter. That is the only thing I need for my desktop audio. But with this, you know what? I will go I'm just gonna find a loud ass video, and I'm just gonna play it. The loudest video on YouTube. There we go. So see, I'm sorry that this is really annoying, but you'll notice that my audio isn't going above 17.80 decibels because, sorry, and the limiter doesn't work in your own ears, so it's really loud. Hey, that's a good example. So like, yeah, that audio would not, probably was a bad example because I just, like, everybody just turned off this video. Yeah, just set this to something, like, I'd say, like, fairly significantly lower. You don't want to go too far away from the yellow because then it'll be, like, too quiet. So I'd say, like, around between, like, 17 and, like, 21 if you're using the limiter settings that I've set up. That's perfect. Like, that'll be perfectly fine for whatever you want to do. Here, this is just a little bonus. The rest of this stuff, it is completely up to preference. The gain, like, noise suppression, noise gate, this stuff here, the noise suppression and noise gate, is here just to cut out any background noise. So, like, you know, I have ADHD, and I'm always, like, messing with something. It still comes through occasionally, but, you don't hear, like, you don't hear me like breathing and like all of that other stuff. Like here, I'll turn off the noise gate and noise suppression, and you will hear how fairly noisy my room is. Yeah, see, you can like hear, like, you can probably hear my computer, and like maybe like if the air was running, you'd be able to hear my air running. Noise gate and noise suppression just kind of like cut that stuff out and make you sound a lot better. But of course, that's up to preference. If you want the background noise, I guess for whatever reason, you can leave that off. The gain is just there because my sensitivity on my mic is extremely low. The 3-band equalizer, at first I didn't fully know what this did, and honestly I still don't fully know what it does. All I know is I sound a little bit better with it on. It just adds like a little bit of bass to my voice, and that's pretty much it. See, like, this is right now what you're hearing is it with it off, and this is me with it on. It is a very subtle change, but I liked it, so I kept it like that. But yeah, that is pretty much like everything that I do with my audio. Unless ignore the stuff down here. This is just
little funny noises. The funniest of noises.
Okay. Oh, I've been told that's not really loud whenever I turn on the radio filter. But, like, my my OBS says otherwise. But I guess I'll see in editing, because I never hear this anymore. Alrighty. I hope you find this useful, but, you know, take care, and please don't kill anybody with your audio. Okay, bye!
Shove it up your ugly ass! You heard us right! Shove it up your ugly ass!